All right, let's talk about something that's a real headache for so many people: finding an apartment in New York City. I mean, it is a beast, right? It's fast, it's tough, it's crazy expensive. But what if I told you there's a smarter way to do it? A cheaper way?
You know that feeling, right? That pit in your stomach when you're just scrolling and scrolling through apartment ads and half of them look kind of sketchy? Yeah, you are definitely not alone. It really is a jungle out there. Honestly, finding a place can feel like a full-time job.
And it's not just the stress of the search itself, it's the money. The financial hurdles can feel just impossible. So you finally find a place you actually love, you're all set to sign the lease, and then, wham, you get hit with all these costs you totally weren't expecting.
Okay, so to figure out a better way, we first got to understand the old way, the traditional NYC rental game. The stakes here are super high, and for decades, the whole system has been set up in a way that's, let's just say, not great for renters' wallets. So picture this. You've done it. You've found the apartment. It's got great light, it's in the perfect neighborhood, it's even close to the subway. A miracle. You're in your head, you're doing the math. Okay, first month's rent, security deposit, I can swing this. But then the agent turns to you and says, oh, and there's just one more thing.
And there it is, the big one, the single biggest, most painful financial hurdle for pretty much every renter in New York City: the broker fee. Seriously, this one cost can be a total deal breaker. It can literally make or break your entire move.
So what is this thing anyway? Well, it's basically a commission that you, the renter, have to pay directly to the agent. And let's be clear, this is not your security deposit. You will never, ever see this money again. Nope. It's just the price you pay to get the apartment. And it's usually a huge chunk of your annual rent. Okay, let's do some quick math here just to see how wild this is. Let's say you find an apartment for $3,000 a month. Pretty standard. A typical 15% broker fee? That comes out to $5,400. That is $5,400 you have to cough up right at the start on top of your rent and security deposit. It is just a massive, massive cost. But what if you didn't have to pay that? What if we could just take that fee completely out of the equation? Well, this is where everything changes. There's a totally different model out there, one that basically flips the whole system on its head and makes renting way more affordable and, just clearer for you.
So here's the big secret. It's actually super simple. In the old traditional way, you, the renter, pay that huge fee. But in this new no-fee model, the landlord pays it. That's it. That's the whole trick. And by just shifting who pays that one cost, you literally keep thousands of dollars in your pocket. It's a game changer.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. That's the logical question, right? If I'm not paying, how do they make any money? It sounds a little too good to be true. But believe me, the business model is really straightforward. And it all comes down to making sure everyone's interests are aligned. It's actually pretty simple. Think about it from the landlord's side. What do they want? They need to fill their empty apartments fast. So they pay these no-fee platforms to market their places and find them good, qualified tenants like you. Since the landlord is footing the bill for the service, it stays completely free for renters. See? It's a total win-win. All right, sold. You're ready to save a ton of cash. So let's get into the playbook. What are the actual steps? How do you use this system to find and lock down your next no-fee apartment? The whole process is designed to be super direct and easy. Step 1, you browse listings on a platform where all the apartments are vetted. That means you're looking at real places, not those fake bait and switch ads. Step 2, the team schedules the showings for you. No hassle. Step 3, and this is super important, you get all your paperwork ready. And then, step 4, you apply, feeling good, knowing there isn't some giant, painful fee waiting at the end. Okay, so about that paperwork. You'll want to have your application toolkit ready to go. We're talking a photo ID, your last couple of pay stubs, an employment letter, and your recent bank statements. Pro tip, have all of this scanned and ready as PDFs. That way, when you find the place you love, you can move on it like lightning fast. All right, here is a little piece of insider NYC knowledge you absolutely need to know. It's called the 40X rule. Basically, most landlords require your yearly income to be at least 35 to 40 times the monthly rent. So for that $3,000 apartment we were talking about, you'd need to be making about $120,000 a year. It's just the standard way they figure out if you can afford the place. Now, don't panic if you hear that number and think, no way. The system is pretty flexible. Lots of buildings will accept a guarantor, or they'll let you combine your income with your roommates. They're also totally used to working with people relocating from out of state or even from another country. So you've got options. But to really feel good about this whole thing, you have to understand the other side of the coin, right? Why on earth would a landlord agree to pay this fee? Well, the answer is pretty simple. It's just good business for them. Think about what landlords get out of this deal. They get a ton of value. Their empty apartments get advertised to a huge audience of people who are serious about renting. They get professional help screening tenants so they know they're getting someone reliable. But the most important thing? They fill their empty units way faster. And an empty apartment is a landlord's worst nightmare because it's just losing them money. So yeah, for them, it makes perfect financial sense. Okay, let's wrap this all up. At the end of the day, this isn't just about saving money, even though, yeah, that's a huge, huge part of it. It's really about finding a way to rent in the city that's just fundamentally better, more transparent, more fair. The whole mission behind a model like this really boils down to two key things. First, get rid of that insane, painful broker fee for renters. And second, give you a guided, professional experience so you don't feel like you're completely lost in that rental maze. So really, what we're talking about here is a major shift. It's a move away from the old, confusing, super expensive way of doing things and toward a curated platform where what you see is actually what you get. It's all about connecting you directly with real available apartments from landlords you can trust and doing it all without that killer fee. And that really leaves us with just one last question. And it's a big one. If you didn't have to shell out that $5,000 or $6,000 or maybe even $7,000 for a broker fee on your next move, what would you do with all that extra cash instead? Really makes you think, doesn't it? Thanks for joining me.